to start our weekly meetings. And I would talk today about my native city of Kherson, when it was in time of occupation. My full text is available in editorial book Images and Objects in the Time of Russian-Ukrainian War, edited by Victoria. So if you will want to deeper immerse in this topic, just go to open access this book. It is open access, and you can read the whole text there. Now I need to ask you to turn off my camera because my internet connection is unfortunately unstable, and I will go to my presentation. Yeah. Does it work? Oh, super. From Victory Day, 9 May, until the occupation of right bank of the Kherson Oblast in 11 November 2022, the occupiers actively used outdoor advertising. The narrative nature of I will talk about billboards mostly, and the narrative nature of these billboards is striking when they are considered in chronological order as part of the campaign for the so-called referendum. I will quote on the issue of Kherson region's accession to the Russian Federation, held on September 2022. The occupiers persistently offered the residents of the Kherson to get acquainted with their, residents, with their supposed past, present, and future. Particularly, the past significantly dominated these visual and textual narratives. Thus, in my presentation, I set out to find the forms of instrumentalizing history in public sphere of the occupied territories. As I said, I will talk about billboard mostly. In total, from May to September 2022, the occupiers put up 6 series of billboards around the city, as well as a few single billboards, all of which demonstrate the mechanisms of the occupiers' work with the population of the occupied territories. The complete collection of billboards in Kherson Oblast from the beginning of the occupation to the liberation of the right bank numbers 58 billboards in total. I mean, the
Mykola,
issues.
your slides are not changing.
I know about it. I know.
Okay.
This is just an introduction.
Okay.
In March and April 2022, the occupiers paid almost no attention to systematic community outreach. This was limited to sporadic handouts of humanitarian aid and media appeals. The occupiers first began promoting their core ideas and symbols in May. The city of Kherson noisily celebrated holidays associated with the history of the USSR. May 1st and Victory Day, 9th May, on 9th of May, for example, they organized a procession of the Immortal Regiment, the laying of flowers at the tomb of unknown soldier, mass festivities, массовые гуляния, with the participations of artists from the Russian Federation, and military outdoor kitchen, солдатская каша. The first occupation billboards appeared at this time in the central streets of the city. They featured Victory Day greetings in the style of Soviet postcards and posters with how to understand what I need to change, but I don't why sorry. So they featured postcards featured victory greetings in the style of Soviet postcards, familiar from your childhood, I think, with a picture of Red Army soldiers like there, or with Saint George ribbons like the Kremlin stars, red carnations, красные гвоздики, and different Soviet military orders and medals and victory banners. Soon, systematic work began in the public space. At the end of May, the occupying regime put up billboards with the slogan, Kherson, a city with a Russian history. Here you can see the picture of these billboards and the text from the billboards translated to English. Beside the general slogan, Kherson, a city with a Russian history, all the billboards had the emblem of the political party Единая Россия, United Russia, on them. The series includes 9 billboards, which I detailed below. Most of the images used in this series are connected to the imperial period of Russian history, mainly the era of Catherine the Great. It heroes like Field Marshal Grigory Potemkin or Field Marshal Alexander Suvorov or General Denis Davidov, writer Alexander Pushkin and Afanasy Fet are represented by painted portraits. The military figures are shown in uniform with decoration and orders and medals and with detailed listing of their titles, ranks, and different achievements, especially military ones. Eventually, this is meant to create an image of the golden age of Kherson created by Russian political and military figures. The series includes numerous examples of instrumentalization of not history, but also culture through the inclusion of 19th and 20th century cultural figures as VIP agitators. Here you can see the billboards with Soviet writer, journalist Boris Gorbatov. Here the billboards with the image of Soviet director of cinema Sergei Bondarchuk, native of Kherson Oblast. So these figures, these persons, were used as agitators in this campaign. The Ukrainian history of Kherson was represented by World War II and the year 2014. The billboards present this time as a dark periods of Kherson's history. Here you can see you can compare their polychrome portraits with white and dark pictures from these billboards, which depict the dark times of history of our city. The second billboard series which appeared from July was essentially the same as the first in terms of images and facts. The same nobles from the time of Catherine the Great, the same imperial history, the same ceremonial portraits. Of the 9 billboards, 6 referred to the Russian Empire times, to the Russian Empire. And just 3 of them were related to Soviet period of Kherson history. The third set of billboards featured the common element of the coat of arms of the Kherson governorate, Khersonskaya gubernia. This is a Byzantine double-headed eagle with a laurel branch and a flame and its talons, and ribbons of the colors of the Russian flag. The central billboard, here you can see this, of the series, showed a quote from Vladimir Putin's article issued in 2021 on the historical unity of Russians and Ukrainians. I quote, "Ukrainians and Russians, they are one people, one united whole." The other billboards of this series visualized this idea with people, children and mothers dressed in Ukrainian vyshyvankas, traditional costumes with national ornaments and embroidery. By the way, in this picture, Ukrainian photographer Hanna Pasechnik recognized her own works and her own children, which were part of her special patriotic series created in the beginning of the full-scale Russian invasion and posted in the various photo sharing sites, photo stocks. On the one hand, the appearance of a series with the vyshyvankas can be considered controversial. Ukrainians wearing traditional clothing can be perceived as a direct reference to the nation whose denazification is being pursued by the so-called special military operation. On the other hand, vyshyvankas, wreaths, and wheat fit perfectly into Soviet and Russian ethnographic depiction of Ukraine. Ideas of Malorossi, Malorossia. This is very similar to Soviet era posters with embroidered shirts. The image you can recall the image of Nikita Khrushchev in an embroidered shirt in Vyshyvanka and so on. Here we see a shift from the heroic narrative from previous billboard sets and that of the narrative of common person, common but anonymous persons. In early August, another series of billboards appeared on the streets. This series was called Our Priorities. The common element was the slogan of the forum Kherson Oblast, We Are With Russia, which was conducted in the summer 2022. This public event took place in the end of July. During this event, participants adopted so-called declaration of Russian Kherson, which stated that the Kherson region is, I quote, the legal successor of the Russian Empire on the territory of parts of Kherson and Tauride gubernias. From this, according to the organizers of the forum, come the necessity of so-called self-determination and the acquisition of subjecthood as Kherson as a part of Russia, as a subject of the federation by the people of the Kherson Oblast, which open, I quote, which opened the way for us to hold a referendum. All the people of this billboard series were also dressed in vyshyvankas. Interestingly, while almost all the previous outdoor ads suggested looking to the past for illumination, this set was about the future. Both in design and content, the fourth series was a typical pre-election advertisement in which voters were offered everything for free. Compensation, like the compensation for the purchase of agricultural machinery or medical care or financial support for maternity and seniors, free housing, and other such things. People should just become citizens of Russian Federation. A little later in August, another set of billboards appeared, again referring to the past and the same figures. In the sub-series, The People of Kherson, The Pride of Russia, Bondarchuk, the playwright Boris Lavrenyov, native of Kherson, and the actor Evgeny Matveyev, active of Kherson Oblast and well known for playing Leonid Brezhnev in a few Soviet movies, appeared in these billboards on the city streets. In the other series, Russian heroes then and now, Potemkin, Suvorov, and Ushakov resurfaced on the billboards on Kherson streets, but now in the company of contemporary servicemen of the Russian armed forces. There were also single billboards that appeared in Kherson during the summer. The day of the Russian flag, the day of the city of Kherson, and a very interesting billboard with the advertisement firemen with text that echoed the content of the third billboard series. I quote, Russians and Ukrainians are one people. To serve as a firefighter of both Russia and Ukraine. This is a great part and opportunity of ensuring the safety of the people of the Kherson Oblast, Народа Херсонской области. It's also very curious. Prevention, rescue, and help. And also very interesting that that anonymous people, even without faces, they are wearing with masks, with glasses and masks. And the last series appeared in the end of the summer of 2022. This outdoor advertising directly pointed to preparation for a referendum of the annexation of the Kherson Oblast to Russia. The last series include 4 types of billboards, 3 with the words 23, 27 September, referendum, we are with Russia, and just one with the outcome. The choice is made, Kherson, this is Russia. This is a picture was made from the very long distance. This is white. The quality of this photo is not pretty good. And in conclusion, it should be added that throughout the entire occupation of Kherson by Russia, the residents of Kherson continuously damaged the billboards. They splattered with paint, peeled them off, or wrote various inscriptions on them, from insulting the occupiers to glorifying Ukraine and the Ukrainian armed forces. On November 11th, when Kherson was liberated, Khersonites, residents of Kherson, tore down and burned the posters and mess, and pretty later in the end of November, Potemkin, Suvorov, and Pushkin and other figures from billboards were put on display on the National Museum of the History of Ukraine during World War II in Kyiv. Thus, outdoor advertising in the occupied territories often came under the attack of members of the resistance, and after the occupation, the billboards became a way for citizens to channel their anger towards the occupiers. Soon after, here you can see these billboards, the images of the images of the cross of the armed force of Ukraine appeared in the liberated city of Kherson Oblast in place of the occupation billboards. And I will conclude. This is the last, my last picture. Outdoor advertising in the occupied territory of the Kherson Oblast became an important, very important aspect of Russian propaganda. If we consider the first billboards with greetings to Victory Days, this set with purely decorative, we can say that the referendum campaign began in the end of May with the second set of billboards. All figures that appears in the campaign were either well-known historical figures or anonymous people. No contemporaries were used in this campaign. One of the reasons for this was the lack of recognizable and reputable people from the region who cooperated with the occupiers. The overview of outdoor advertising also reveals the problem faced by the occupiers. A short list of collaborators, distorted view of Ukrainian society, and a lack of new ideas, among other things. The vast majority of the campaign's messages included reference to history, monarchs, statesmen, military leaders, and historical events. The historiography of the images used is limited to the time from 1778 to 2014. The most frequently used people were from Russian imperial period under Catherine II. 5 billboards, for example, as you remember, were directly or indirectly dedicated to Prince Potemkin. The billboards, for example, the billboards show the audience many founding fathers, отцов-основателей, from the imperial period. Them smaller numbers of heroic facts about the Soviet period, followed by the very few image of the tragedies, so-called tragedy of the Ukrainian period, Kherson. Finally, because of the prospects of cloudless and happy future, the consumer is told to make the right choice during the referendum. In general, the technology of memory in occupied Kherson included the following main components: retrospective connection with artificially selected period and pragmatic perspective. These two components are the most used in electoral models during the election. That is retrospective voting for past achievements and prospective voting for promises. And within this scheme, there is no place for uncomfortable present. I stopped my sharing and turn on my camera. I hope the internet connection will be stable and it will allow us to speak face to face, eyes to eyes.
Are there first comments or questions to the Mykola's presentation? Yes, Hanna?
Mykola, thank you for your presentation and your research. Actually, I just had an interview this week with a woman from Kherson who was under occupation in 2022. And she told that such an active advertising, as you mentioned in your presentation, also began somewhere in May. And maybe you can add something why the Russians started this advertising campaign at that time. What do you think, in your opinion, how Russia construct as a state through this advertising? And one more question I have for you. For me, it was interesting to observe these big boards about present and future, where people are depicted in vyshyvankas with a clear emphasis that they are Ukrainians. Why do you think this ethnic characteristics was used in this series of advertisements? Thank you.
Thank you for your question, but I missed the first question because of I will turn off my camera because unfortunately the connection is not stable.
Why do you think the Russians start this advertising campaign of May?
Unfortunately, I missed the question because something.
So the question was why May? First question was about the timing. So why May? Because there was another respondent who also said that May. Second question was about the image of state, how it's portrays the Russian state, and the last comment was about the ethnicity, why ethnicity was stressed.
The first question, I think this evolving of billboards campaign reveals how Russians plans were changing. Before the May, before the second series of billboards, Russians, by my opinions and according to my research, didn't have plans to Kherson region, to annexation of Kherson region. They just were looking for decision what to do with this difficult and unpredictable situation. And the second series of billboards showed that Russian started the campaign, referendum campaign, election campaign in the end of May by the first series of billboards. Kherson is a city with Russian history. And about ethnicity and about people with children and people with vyshyvankas, all sets of billboards represent two types of people, or high-ranking politicians, servicemen, and monarchs, and the second type, common people. And this is like typical political technology to use two types of people in outdoor advertisement: the high-ranking VIP agitators and the common people who will become happy when campaign win. And the problem is that in situation when just a few people became collaborators, a few well-known people became collaborators, it was impossible to use contemporaries, nowadays people, reputable people from Kherson for these billboards. And using the Potemkin, Suvorov, and Ushakov, was the reason was because there was a lack of VIP collaborators.
Just can I add something?
Okay.
But common people could be without vyshyvanka also. Why the use this vyshyvanka images? Do you have any other ideas? Because in my point of view, I'm not in this topic at all, but it's more about their politics, ethnical politics, how they want to represent the ethnical politics that you could be Ukrainians, like ethnic group in Russian Federation, but you have to be the citizen of Russia, or it's just a very general idea. But how you see it?
As I said, these people with vyshyvankas, with refs on the head, fit perfectly to Russian ethnographical depiction of Ukraine. Ideas of Malorossi and Malorossi. And Malorossi look like people from billboards with vyshyvankas and refs among wheat fields. This is like continuation of Soviet imagination of ethnographical imagination about Ukraine. This is a strange people. This is just one difference between Russians and Ukrainians. Just vyshyvankas. It's not about people, about narod. It's about like sub ethnical group, about ethnographical group. This is my explanation.
May I step with a question? For me, is surprising, not surprising, knowing the situation, how the similar campaigns were built in occupied territories of Donetsk and Luhansk Oblast, but still is surprising when the very early moments they are starting with the Soviet symbols. And I guess you have to have a lot of cultural knowledge or cultural background, Soviet cultural background, to immediately read who are the personalities. And in this case, I guess if we are talking about young generation of Ukrainians, they might have difficulties with this because these figures were not circulated within the media or cultural media space for quite a while. So for me, this is surprising. Why would they choose this? I mean, Second World War, we understand this as the founding myth for the Soviet Union and now for Russia. But all this, cinematographical figures who actually, in majority of cases, won't be known for the younger generations. This is because of the lack of possible figures, or because they do not understand that Ukrainian young population is not so much embedded in that culture, so that they won't be able to read symbols.
Maybe explanation is more simple than we imagine. Maybe it was just simply it was just easy to buy the interesting photos from the stock, photo stock for, I don't know, one euro or one euro or like stuff like this, and that to make a photo shoot session. Maybe we are looking for a very deep answer for the quite simple, easy situation. But for me, this is like the ethnographical view of Ukrainian, superficial view. This Vyshyvanka, this is a symbol of a superficial for me.
Yulia, I saw your hand.
Yeah, thank you so much for this very insightful presentation, and really glad to see you even online, because if I'm correct, we have met in the other city starting from her just
Yes,
before the full-scale
it's true.
invasion, and have been talking about the actually how run into election, how to convince people, and so on and so forth. My internet is also not that good. So I wanted just to clarify, when we're talking about narratives, it's great and it's very insightful from your presentation, and it's really touching bottom of my heart. But do we know who exactly behind these advertising? So were these kind of posters made in Moscow, or they were created by the local collaborators, or how they, who the agents or who the creators of this idea how to marry these two people in Vyshyvanka, or why Bondarchuk should be proclaimed or promoted, kind of. Do we know who are the agents of these campaigns?
Thank you. Very important, very interesting question. I have several paragraphs about this in my article. Locals didn't take part in this campaign at all. Why I know about it? Because these billboards consist many many mistakes, many local history mistakes, and if locals take part in this activity, this was impossible. And I even checked from there that big text, because if you know the principles of billboards, the advertising billboards includes just a few words, 6, 7 maximum. In our in different in several hour billboards includes more than almost 100 words, and I just check from there this text and was wondered because the text came from Wikipedia, from culture.rf, from very common web resources. It means the political technologists who participated, who made this campaign, just made this job without difficulties. They found just the simplest way to do this job, and I supposed to steal the money.
So probably they are not from Moscow because they were promoted like a high-rated political technologies. Probably they are from DNR, Donetsk People Republic, or Luhansk People Republic, and they just kind of delegate these kind of campaigns. That is why they know they do not know local particularities or something. So I'm just interested in who are agents behind these campaigns, and that's all. Okay, thank you so much.
I don't know who the concrete process, concrete agencies, but I suppose in Kherson worked a few groups, because this is a repetition of the same same figures, same ideas show that this is the agencies change one or two times.
Thank you. Ola?
Yes, thank you very much, Mykola, for your work. First of all, I don't know, I would say like kind of heroism to making all these pictures. And my question, first question is specifically for your field work, because me personally, I'm an ethnomusicologist and all my researches are based on field work, like during 2 decades already, more or less. So I had different situations doing field work in Ukraine and outside Ukraine. And my question is about the circumstances of your field work. Can you maybe specify something? Can you recall, have you been followed? Have you been attacked? Because I remember during your presentation, we saw one picture, as you commented, from a distance, right? So maybe not everything would be possible to make very clear, very close to the billboards. Yeah, so if you could comment on that, it would be very interesting. The second thing that I would like to say that I can totally relate to your memory issues, because my project here also connected to memory issues, and it's very actually similar because I'm observing recordings from Berlin Phonogram Archive, and actually, my preliminary results show that many of Ukrainian people that were in German camps when the recordings were made was, of course, they were named as Russian. But when I started to listen a little bit to the music that are presented in this collection, so I understood, and there are many recordings from a steppe region, specifically from your region. So, and it's again, like, you know, this what you showed, what they show on the billboards, and what is actually how people, later Ukrainians, really people who live there, react to that. So this is like also my observation. And maybe the third question, if we'll have time, if you could specify this inconvenience that you put on your title, like in inconvenient present, like what exactly you meant, for whom inconvenient, etc. Thank you.
About my field work, first of all, I would like to say I'm not a courage people. Courage people are on the front line now. I spent 7 months under occupation, and for me, field work was a sort of sociological support for my mental health. I need to do something, and I looked for the work, and when I observed. When I looked at the first billboards, I decided that I will follow all type of Russian propaganda, and systematically collected all type of propaganda materials, including newspapers, light box, billboards, leaflets, stickers, and so on. Yes, it was quite dangerous, but I have one life hack for field workers in such circumstances. Use ecological transport bicycle, and not just ecological, but provide the safetyness for people who do such work. I will 2 times in situation when I would be arrested, but bicycle rescued me. About second and third question.
It was not a question, actually. It was my like some parallel in our researches, but the question was about the inconvenience.
Inconvenience, yes, as inconvenience from the Russia's side that Russia occupiers figure out with inconvenient present, and they forced to looking for topics, materials from past because present was inconvenient. If you will go to internet and check the number of collaborators for Kherson Opus is not quite long, just maybe a few. How many member of city councils became collaborators? 2 or 3. How many numbers of region parliament became collaborators? Maybe 10%. It's not so much. And inconvenient means that Russia occupiers faced with inconvenient present.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. Tamara?
Thank you for such an interesting and very impressive presentation. I really very like it. I have a question, first of all, about language. And do you have any evidence or any example of usage of Ukrainian, not language, or maybe just any words, or mocking some words, or playing with some words, or just that usage, not only sentences, but only Ukrainian words as well? This is my first question, and the second is, as we understand that it is very general and very centralized strategy of propaganda on the occupied territory. And do you have a chance, or maybe did you try to compare, for instance, this strategy on the different territory, occupied territory, like in Donbass or in Kherson or in another city, in another place? I mean, do you see any adjustment to the local tradition, local territory? Maybe this is usage of Ukrainian ethnographic costume. Maybe it's also characteristic on the Kherson, or was it used in another territory as well? So if you could clarify a little bit about and to say about it, I would be very grateful. Thank you.
Also, very interesting question. First question, first answer about Ukrainian language. I will start from the latest time, latest occupation time, when Kherson Oblast was annexed. Kherson proxy government made 3 languages as state languages in Kherson Oblast: Russian language, Ukrainian language, and Crimean Tatarian language. But in real, there is no any schools with Ukrainian language, with Ukrainian and Crimean Tatarian language, no cultural events, no media. In fact, Ukrainian language is forbidden in occupied territory. During occupation in Kherson, I can't recall any. I don't remember. I just what came into my mind, the title of occupiers' main newspaper, Наднепрянская правда. Nadnepranskaya, this is not Ukrainian word, but not Russian one, not Russian word. It's just translate with mistake the title of official organ of Kherson regional parliament to Russian word Наднепрянска to Наднепрянская because right way Приднепровская.
I'm sorry, Mayan. I meant in the advertisement. So it's in this big.
No. There is
Yeah.
no any billboards with Ukrainian text.
So this is why I asked it about any words, not phrases, but any nothing. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
And about the
comparison with other territory.
I analyzed in four annexed oblasts. Russians conducted a similar campaign in Zaporizhia and Kherson Oblast with similar Potemkin, Rumyantsev, Ushakov, and Suvorov names, very similar to Kherson. But in Lugansk and Donetsk Oblast, the advertising concentrated about Soviet figures from Soviet history, Soviet marshals, Soviet cosmonauts, Stakhanovцы, and so on. So the proportion between Russian and Soviet figures in Donetsk and Lugansk Oblast were shifted to Soviet historical persons.
Thank you.
There is a chance for a last question. A few comments. While you are thinking, I will ask maybe one more. Again, about Vyshyvankas. Yes, we have this Ukrainian ethnicity present, but you have the region with a lot of minority groups. And why this narrative was the strongest one? Because this might be an issue which could alienate, for example, Crimean Tatars or other minority groups from this representation.
As I know because I have witnesses. I had an interview with some people from national minorities groups. For instance, I remember the interview with representative of Turkish Meskhetian non-government organization, in fact, leader of community, and he had been proposed to be a collaborator, to do something for collaborators, and my respondent rejected this proposition. And I think if I know that occupiers worked with leaders of national communities, and I know that the most of them didn't allow to use them in their plans.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for your questions.
So if there are no questions, then thank you, everybody. Oh, we do have one more. Serhiy?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Pana Mykola, for this wonderful presentation. My question maybe is related with first Victoria question. In your opinion, these Russian occupiers' billboards, yes, this advertising, Is this a continuation of old Soviet-style propaganda? And if yes, are they still effective in the digital age? Or it's a new kind of mimetic war adopted to our time, to the digital age? So, your opinion?
My opinion that Kherson campaign, billboard campaign, includes some methods from Soviet time, but they based on political technology issues, contemporary Russian political technologies. So there are no too much Soviet things in this things. But about digital technologies and outdoor advertisement and how to say analog advertising. During the occupation, Russia's defeat in digital sphere. Almost electronic media was controlled by Ukrainians, and Kherson people used Ukrainian Telegram channels, Viber groups, YouTube channels as the main source of information. This is one of my explanation why Russians uses analog means of communication, because they lose control in digital sphere. That's why they use paper, newspapers, billboards, city lights, leaflets, and so on.
Ola, and then
So
Daria.
it doesn't work for young generation, or no?
This doesn't work for any generation, because, as I said, that billboards was designed with mistakes. Billboards with 100 words don't work for people. This is like Stengazeta, not billboard. Stengazeta is not a very effective means of communication. And I would like to emphasize that billboards with many mistakes. For example, Afanasy Fet have no connection with Kherson. This was a military serviceman in Kherson gubernia, but which include Odessa, Kirovograd, Dnipropetrovsk, Mykolaiv, partly Kherson Oblast. It was Kherson gubernia, not the same the Kherson Oblast. And Afanasy Fet served in Novogeorgivsk. This is Kirovograd Oblast. So how Afanasy Fet should convince Kherson people to vote for Russian future? It's very strange, because Afanasy Fet is not a local hero.
Ola?
Yes,
And
thank
then
you very
Daria.
much. Yeah, I have very, very quick question. Since I heard that you also, one of your areas of your research is ethnic minorities, national minorities. So is mine. So I just wanted to ask, have you ever met representatives of such a Roma group as Boyashi or Bayashi in your region? Are they present there?
No. Boyashi, Kherson region is home for Servuria, Krymuria, Kishinev-Zuryan. This is our three main Romani group.
Okay, thank you.
Daria?
Thank you, Victoria. I don't have a question because unfortunately, together with Mykola, I have this horrific experience of to stay in occupation. I only have some addition thoughts about Vyshyvanka, using Vyshyvanka on this advertising. I think this information propaganda, this advertising was aimed at occupying the feelings from the occupiers. And I think it was a distorted view of occupiers about the possibility of reconciling pro-Russian and pro-imperial narratives with Ukrainians' identity. But it really was absolutely unsuccessful.
Thank
Just
you.
came to my mind that to do a photo shoot with real people with Vyshyvankas was impossible.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you very much. We have a lot of food for thought with the first colloquium or seminar, and we will continue next week. I don't know if anybody of you already signed for the next week. If not, Marina will be reaching and asking for some of you to volunteer for the next Friday. And I wish you a very nice, safe, and peaceful Friday and weekend.
Thank you, Victoria.